Alright, hi, this is my first tutorial on how to make a hypersphere. I'm making this because I said in the comments I was willing to make a tutorial, and then someone said, okay, yeah, do that. So here I am, I guess. So you want to start by deleting the default cube, right? Then spawning in an icosphere. You want to add an icosphere to the scene. Now turn the subdivisions down to 1. Now we're going to make a face within face on every single little face in this icosphere. And then we will set that to 0.07. And then just continue to do that along all the other faces. Alright, so I'm going to cut ahead until where I'm done, so I'll see you in a bit. And done. Right, so now we have a sphere with lots of faces within faces. What we're going to do is select them all, and then delete all the faces. So yeah, just go ahead and select all the faces. Alright, so now I got them all. I'm just going to hit X for delete. Click faces. Now, if you hit A, it'll select everything. Hit Shift, then D, then press S to size it down. Now I have two separate spheres, and we're going to have to select their vertices and create edge bridges to conjoin them. Alright, so 2 ways we can do this. We can select one at a time and then hit F to fill, like this. This way is a bit slower, but it is, reliable, I guess. If you hit Option then click at the same time, it'll select an edge loop. And if you hit Shift, it'll allow you to select two things at the same time. Then right click and bridge edge loops. So now we've filled all of the loops, we have a sphere which we can put our other sphere within. On that note, let's get to creating the other sphere. So you want to add icosphere and then give it as many subdivisions as you want. I chose 5 because I'm running on Mac, probably can't handle any more than that. So I sized it down and I smooth shaded it. The music just changed, if you notice, because we're getting onto the animation process. Yippee! Alright, so the animation process is going to include a lot of noise. So first let's hide that outer shell, right? Now, if you click on the right bar thingy, right click on it, it'll allow you to split vertical for right. Just click again on the middle of the screen and it allows you to split into 2. Alright, so if you hit I and then go down to rotation and scale, click that and it will add a keyframe for both of those. Now, in the graph editor, it'll show you that the keyframes have been made, and you'll be able to edit them with modifiers. So we're going to go to the Z, or any of the rotations really, it doesn't really matter, and hit noise. Now I'm going to have to edit the values for this noise, so I'm going to turn the strength to about 71 and the scale to about 100. It probably doesn't look like much is happening right now, but that's just because it's a sphere and it doesn't have any extruding or protruding parts. Next, to add modifier, there'll be a copy to clipboard button, and then just go to the next rotation and paste that in with the paste from clipboard. Then just change the offset and the phase a bit, and it should look fine. Repeat that for the other rotation as well. Now we're on scale. We're going to make it look different when it's rotating by making a noise on the scale, and then setting those values. I ended up being happy with scale 34 and strength 0.3. So we're just going to copy the clipboard and then paste those onto the others as we did with the rotation. And then we're going to change the phase and the offset, like we did in the rotation. But something you can do in these, and I did, is change the strength just a little bit to make it seem more different on different axes, because it will be rotating anyway. Okay, now that's done, I'm going to go ahead and rename our outer shell with shell and our inner sphere, just for organization. Okay, so now you can hide the inner sphere and unhide the outer shell, because we're going to animate the outer shell the same way essentially, but in a few differences. So you want to turn the Y and the Z scale and strength to about 600 scale and 40 strength on each. You can change it to like 700 strength or 45 scale just to change it up a bit, but that's all you really want to do. And on the x-axis, you want to change its scale to 0.2 and its strength to 0.2 to give it that sort of vibrating look. Now, finally, it's time to get onto texturing. We're going to do really simple textures, so just select the sphere, hit Add New Texture, and change that texture to Emission. Now we have an emission texture. I would say you should change it up to probably emission strength 7 or higher, because you're going to want bloom on this afterwards. Now on the shell, we're going to do a really simple metallic texture, which is in reality just on the BDSF, changing metallic up to about 1, and then going into the sampling settings, turning on ambient occlusion, bloom, subsurface reflections, and motion blur. Now change your file output to wherever you want your video to be saved, and change the frames to the desired amount. I just want, a cool 230. You hit rendered, and you will find it's not looking quite right, so you got to change the background to black. I'm not sure if it actually does anything, but I'm going to change the strength up to about 6 or 4. So I reckon it's looking pretty good now. Remember to use Eevee as the render engine. And yeah, I'm going to render that and see how it looks. See you then. Okay, so one last thing, I forgot to change the output settings from PNG to FFmpeg video, and then change it to convert to MP4.